New virus hits India. Players fall sick. T20 World Cup at risk. ICC T20. So, what do you get when a modern day health scare crashes into one of the wildest, most unbelievable stories from cricket history? Well, that's what we're unpacking today. We're going to look at the virus threat hanging over the T20 World Cup and then dig up an insane story about a player who literally vanished in the middle of a match. You're not going to want to miss this. All right, so the T20 World Cup is just getting underway, but there's already a huge question mark hanging over it. There are these whispers of a virus spreading in India, and some players are already feeling under the weather. It has everyone on edge, asking the big question, is this whole tournament in jeopardy before it even really gets going? And look, this is not just some small rumor. This was a serious conversation with people wondering if the tournament should have even been held in India in the first place. So yeah, the games are happening, but the health and safety of the players, that's absolutely front and center right now. But, despite all those legitimate worries, India has this really powerful two-part defense system ready to go. It actually makes them uniquely prepared to handle a situation like this without completely derailing their World Cup dreams. So, what are these two layers of protection? Well, the first one is the official stuff. The super strict health protocols that the ICC makes every team follow on every single tour. But the second one, that's India's secret weapon. It's an incredible depth of talent that almost no other team on the planet can match. Let's dig into that first layer, the official protocols. The ICC rules are crystal clear. For any international tour, an official doctor has to check out every single player. If they don't get a complete, clean bill of health, they just can't play. It's not a suggestion, it's a hard and fast rule. No exceptions. Okay, so that's the official side. Now let's talk about that second and honestly probably more powerful defense. This quote right here says it all. If one fails, another will come. It perfectly captures India's mind-blowing bench strength. The whole idea is, even if one of their superstars gets sick, there is another player who's almost just as good, waiting and ready to jump right in. And this didn't just happen by accident, It's what's been called the chain reaction of talent. And it's all thanks to India's massive cricket system. So while a virus could mess things up for the tournament, India's team is protected in a way that others just aren't. It's a massive advantage, and it's a real rarity in world cricket. Now, India's incredible roster is one sign of modern cricket professionalism. But speaking of professionalism, we've got to talk about another team that just put on an absolute clinic in how to get the job done on the field, Sri Lanka. Just take a look at this number, 225. That's what Sri Lanka put on the board against Oman. And at that point, it was the single highest score of the entire tournament. But honestly, it's not just that they scored so much, it's how they did it that was so impressive. Their performance was described with this incredible phrase, cricket with terror, no mercy. Think about that. Sri Lanka showed up and gave zero ground. They were aggressive, they were relentless, and they gave Oman absolutely no room to breathe. That right there, that is what peak modern professionalism looks like. And all this talk about professionalism and structure provides the absolute perfect setup for our last story, because we're going to jump back in time to a truly bizarre, almost unbelievable incident that happened during a test match in Kandy, Sri Lanka, years and years ago. Okay, so get this. Picture the scene. It's a test match. Pakistan versus Sri Lanka in Kandy. The teams play the whole morning session, everything's normal, and they head off the field for the lunch break. Business as usual, right? But then, when the players start coming back onto the field after lunch, something's wrong. Pakistan's main bowler, Sarfraz Nawaz, the guy who bowled the very last over before the break, is gone. Just gone. He's nowhere to be found. The whole team is out there, ready to go, and their key bowler has just vanished into thin air. So, where did he go? Well, this is where the story gets absolutely wild. A direct order had come from the very top of the government in Pakistan, from the prime minister at the time, believe it or not. And the order was to get Sarfraz on a plane back home immediately. Not after the game, not even at the end of the day's play, but right then and there, during the lunch break. And here is the craziest part of all. It was all a huge mistake. It was a case of mistaken identity. See, there had been some minor issue at a reception with a completely different bowler, a guy named Asim Masood, but somehow in the reporting back home, Sarfraz Nawaz's name got mixed up in it. And just based on that one piece of raw information, the order came down to send him packing. So you've got this totally surreal scene playing out on the field. The captain is trying to get his team set, and he's turning around asking, "Hey, where's Sarfraz?" The rest of the team is literally on the field saying, "We are looking for our bowler." They had absolutely no idea he was already being whisked away to the airport to be sent back to Pakistan. And that story just perfectly highlights the insane contrast, right? When you think about the hyper-professional, super-structured, medically cleared world of cricket today, it just leaves you with this one fascinating question. Could you even imagine something that chaotic, that absolutely bonkers, ever happening in today's game?
Thanks for watching. Like, comments and share.